Using the water from Mount Dyson, the Matsui San-In bourbon barrel finished blended Japanese whiskey comes in at 86 proof, 43% alcohol. This is a no-age statement blend of malt and grain whiskeys that the distiller says evokes vanilla, pear, and fruity aftertaste. Now this was the wife's choice, so I hope she likes it, but I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Alright, it's probably no surprise from the intro, but the wife chose another Japanese whiskey. Now, I kind of backed her up into a corner with this because I had just bought another batch of whiskey, so I didn't want to spend the other like $100 like cap I usually give her, so I think I gave her a cap of 50 bucks. Now, as you know, she did like Japanese whiskey. I will put that review up here. So we're trying to capture lightning in a bottle twice. And actually, the website I get my whiskey from, the filters I had was for Japanese and then single malt. However, this is a blend. This is blended whiskey, so sorry. Anyway, I'm curious how she's going to like this. This is aged in ex-bourbon barrels. There's no age statement on it. I don't know how old this is. It was very hard to figure out a lot of stuff on this. I'm going to kill this bug. This is from Kurayoshi Distillery. It's the Matsui whiskey, and I'm going to say this like a terrible white person, so I'm very sorry for anybody that gets offended by this. And this is the San-In. Anyway, it looks to me pretty oily looking whiskey. Nice color, though. Pretty quick legs. I am going to say I poured this out about 15 minutes ago, and initial impression is Sharpie. Quite literally a Sharpie. I'm going to apologize to the wife right now. She's probably not going to like this unless the palate blows me away. The Sharpie is overpowering a lot of stuff. If you saw the video with me and the Scotch Father about the blind pricing challenge, he always said like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. That's what I'm getting out of this. There's like a little bit of nuts, tiny bit of maple. There's definitely underlying sweetness that you can't really get to because that Sharpie is just very, very in the forefront. And there's a tiny bit of oak there. Not a whole lot going on with this nose. It's very offensive, I think, is what I'm going to say. Okay, let's give us a sip, shall we? Pretty smooth. It's 43%, 86 proof, so nothing crazy. That was very smooth. Better experience than the nose was, I think. Definitely get a lot of like pecan almonds on this. A little bit of an underlying vanilla sweetness starting on the finish, but again, this is kind of almost really hollow. It's nothing crazy right now. Let's see what the other 2 or 3 sips do. That had a little bit more of like an oaty grain on it. Not quite cereal yet. You can definitely kind of get some of the bourbon influence in this one. It's trying to be sweet. It just hasn't quite got there yet. And again, I don't know exactly how long this was aged in those ex-bourbon barrels. But I will say the palate is better than the nose. I'm going to do one more sip for you. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. And by the way, I got this for $50, so nothing crazy on the price scale there. The nose will definitely put you off, for sure. But I think the palate kind of brings it back a little bit. Okay, let's throw out some ratings, shall we? On the nose, I'm very sorry to this distillery, but I can't get past this Sharpie. There's tiny bits of other things in there, but it's not good. So I think I'm going to give the nose, unfortunately, a 1. This is probably the lowest nose on my channel. It's not good. Like I said earlier, it's offensive. So I think a 1's fair for that. Alright, let's give the palate a rating. I'm going to give one more sip before I give the actual number. Yeah, nothing too crazy about the palate. It's better than the nose. So for that, I think I'm going to give the palate a 2.5. It's passable. But again, I'm going to kill this bug. But again, it's just not giving me like anything to hold on to. It's just a lot of little things here and there. It's trying to be sweet, but then I get a lot of like grains and oats. I get a little bit of the bourbon influence there, but nothing is just standing out to me and make me like, yes, that's good. So I think 2.5 is probably pretty good for that. Okay, now time for the finish. The finish is the best part about this. I'm getting it on my tongue still. It's still sitting there, and it's kind of mellowing out into a nice warmth and some vanilla sweetness on it. It's lasting a good bit. It is the best part about this particular whiskey, but that's not going to say a whole lot because I'm only going to give it a 3 on the finish. Nothing about this whiskey right now is making me like jump out of my seat and really hold on to something and be like, yes, that's really good. I know these guys make other whiskeys, so hopefully in the future I find another one. I thought if I gave the wife a Japanese choice list, she'd, be able to pick something out. I know she reads the notes or whatever. So I think, again, the reason she liked the Kyo 7-year was because she liked the citrusy, nice light pops on it. Anyway, 3 on the finish. All right, so let's rate the value. 50 bucks for this guy. Not a huge price tag, and the experience isn't to die for. However, I will say it is still kind of hard to find a passable, sippable whiskey these days for anything like under 60. So 50 for this. I think 3 is good for value. I'll give that a nice 3. I'd buy it, sip on it. If I'm not trying to get like a really nice experience, and I just want to have a whiskey, boom, just do this. This might be good for streaming and for some of my nightcaps, but if I want to like impress somebody, I'm not gonna give them this bottle, but I think 50 bucks is good. So let's see, three's on the value. All right, so it looks like the math came out to 9.5 out of 20. Definitely lowest on my channel so far. I'm going to apologize to the wife one more time. However, thanks for picking it. I don't hate the thing. It's just not amazing. Middle of the pack, it just below 50% on the rating here. Again, I'll just sip it just to have a whiskey. By the way, I have a Discord channel. You can look in the description and find that. Just join. We're just trying to make a little bit of community there. Lots of stuff in there. There's gaming stuff, whiskey stuff in there. I have a whiskey list you guys can add to give me some ideas to do some more reviews. Like the video, give it a like. If you want to give me a subscription, go for it. I'm getting close to 100, trying to get there for the end of the year. I appreciate that. Thank you for all of you who already do anyway. Cheers. Okay, so this wonderful woman decided to pick this whiskey, and again, like I said, I backed into a corner on this, and coming to find out, you picked the cheapest one that we filtered out on the list. Again, the filters on that list were Japanese single malt, and I think I gave her a cap of like $80, so she just picked 50 on that. I'm going to apologize, it's not going to be great. As you know, I didn't give it a high rating, and normally, if I give a high rating, you don't like it, so this is a low rating. You're probably also not going to like that, but let's just see what happens. Maybe you'll like it. Who knows? Give me a little bit of note out of that. I got a lot of Sharpies. You agree with the Sharpies?
Yes.
It's not good, right?
No. No.
You have any high hopes for the palate?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. I was expecting that, definitely, and I'm going to apologize to the viewers. I definitely wanted to find a whiskey for her to like so bad that I just put, hey, we're going to try get a Japanese in here. I do know the characteristics of said Japanese that she did like, so that's my fault. So if I want to get her to like one, I'm just going to pick it out next time. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching the video. Cheers. Okay, let's let the wheel decide next week's whiskey. Ooh, it's viewer's choice. I have been waiting so long for this to happen. There has been 2 viewer choices on this wheel since the inception of the wheel. It hasn't happened yet. So here are the rules for the viewer's choice. You guys can pick anything on the wheel currently there, and my handwriting is terrible, so maybe just say the color or the shade of the color. Or you can do a couple of things. I'm going to cap the price for you guys at $100, okay? But you can pick generally, like you can say I want a scotch, and then I'll find a scotch for up to $100 of there. Or you can pick a specific region in Scotland, like Islay, Speyside, Campbelltown, Lowland, the others. You can say bourbon, you can say Japanese, you can say Canadian, all that stuff. Or you can just say a specific whiskey for me to review that's up to $100. Doesn't have to be $100, okay? You can be less than that, but if you want a specific whiskey, you can do that as well. Or you can just do a general thing, and I'll pick one in that general vicinity for you, if that makes any sense. Please comment down below, and after I get a bunch of, probably like 4 of you, because you know I'm very small, I'll randomly pick one, and then I'll put it out either as a post on my community tab or in the Discord if you're part of it. Again, my Discord link's down the bottom. See you next time.